There's quite a margin between them and the best of the Australians, but interesting developments for them. With the Olympics coming up next year in Sochi, which of course is in Russia, I'm a little surprised that they changed their training program so drastically.
It is a drastic move to make, especially big travel changes like that. The flights, the time change when you go over to New Zealand, Australia in the summer months, it can throw your system out for quite some time.
Ustikov was clear, Malishko is clear. Great start from them. Skate 2 on the flatter sections, and well, this man will be doing a fair bit of skate 2 on the way around the course. Perhaps the strongest athlete here. We'll find out shortly what sort of form Svensson is in. Plenty of competition with his #1 rival in the Norwegian team, Bjorndalen, still racing.
As we look at Hofer, Patrick, I think you were more right than I was. I've got the top 50 shooting results from last year, which takes us down to 80%. And Hofer didn't make it into that 80%. He did have some fantastic days, though, on the range last season.
Now, Andy Bernbacher. He's a popular man in Germany. He spent many years under the shadow of the Fischers and the Grosses and the Lux, but really came into his own last year, and immensely strong. It didn't quite come off for him in Ruhpolding, but he was about the only one giving the Germans something to cheer about in the men's races.
Bernbacher, he's turned his performance around, as you say. I think when he got the confidence, when Rico Gross and Luck retired, he got a position in the team and he lifted his performance. Of course, he married this summer as well, Bernbacher.
Good so far from Tim Burke, and he gets #5 as well. Great shooting. That's an encouraging start. 9.59. He's not going to match Ustikov. Legelik on 10.23 might just be pushed down a place. He is. So Burke goes into 3rd position. Legelik of Canada pushed down a 4. Well, that's quite a long margin actually. 24 seconds off the leading time. 20 kilometres, 5 loops. You can work out that the loop's 4 kilometres.
Just looking, sorry Patrick, on the track, Martin Fourcade, he's started this season as he finished last. He's 4 seconds ahead of the next fastest. As I say, at 2.5 kilometres, he's absolutely flying.
Well, lots of trigger action you could see there, Mike, with that index finger for Bauer. Maybe a little bit aggressive on the trigger action.
It seemed like it to me, and every shooting expert that you ever talk to, they say there must be a sense of follow-through. On his last shot, he was off. He didn't even allow a follow-through at all, I felt, on his 5th shot.
The #1 ranked Swede, Carl Johan Bergman.
I love the movement, Patrick. See the movement on the end of his rifle. He gets a lung full of air and it comes back to that dead center point.
That's good shooting. Very encouraging. The time is reasonable. It will be around 10.10. He gets out at 10.09.4, inside the 10-second marker behind Ustikov. That will do nicely for Carl Johan. Now, Moravec
showing the new foresight. You can adjust the sight up there, and of course the height of it as well.
So Lukas Hofer, going by last year's record, would hit 4 out of 5. He's changed the sights one way and now he's changed them back. That looked like 3 clockwise in the end.
Didn't see that great shooting again from Moravec. It was clear he had to rebuild for his 5th shot, lost a lot of time.
That is a depressing start. 3 minutes added, over a kilometre. So, silence in the crowd. A sign of respect for this man in black and yellow. Martin Fourcade. His brother, incidentally, isn't racing, as we mentioned briefly. He's got compartment syndrome in the lower leg, where the muscle develops quicker than the sheath that contains it, and you get a massive build-up of pressure. Really is very, very painful whenever you take any sort of exercise. So he had no option but to head to the surgeon's knife, and we wish him well in his recovery. He'll be watching this and glad that his brother's cleared the first 5. Good start to the season, Mike. He's not going to match Ustigov, but he's only 0.7 of a second outside.
It's interesting, we saw the 15-minute segment we played on Fourcade. He said his first shot release would be 4 seconds faster than last year. Well, that was at least 4 seconds slower. He took an age 20 seconds to release the first shot. And I think that's the importance of this race, Patrick. You have to be relaxed on the range. You want to get all those targets down.
Well, the penalty is more severe, so does that justify having a slightly different tactic and something that you train? This is my individual race pace in the range, and this is my sprint pace.
I think so, and it really, you do have to change your thinking, you have to change your mindset in this event, because these targets mean everything when there's 1 minute penalty.
Bergman's gone clear, Bjorn Ferry has gone clear, the crowd enjoying that. They didn't have a particularly good mixed relay, incidentally. The Swedes finished down in 8th place, and that's an event that they've prided themselves on, not just because they've done well, but because they take it very seriously. Whereas their neighbours, the Norwegians, often tend to give their big boys a rest in the mixed relay. Labelund. Is he going to win himself on a place on the Norwegian team?
Well, not with shooting like that, Patrick, but he has got the fastest ski time coming into the range, even ahead of Martin Fourcade by 1 second. I would imagine Svensson will up the stakes when he skis round the whole of the first loop.
Danny Mesetic, first of the Austrians to enter the arena. 9:41. As he settles on the mat. Even if he hits 5, he won't match Ustigov. But he won't be too far behind if they all go down.
Well, from 60 shots fired last season, Patrick, in the 20 kilometres, Mesetic only missed 4 shots. Came 12th here last year, missing 1. But he just doesn't quite have the ski speed to risk missing any.
Top 5 at the moment, just pips Tim Burke of USA. Well, the snow continues to fall, which is not such good news for those who are going in Group 3 and 4, which I suspect was the main reason for putting the big players in Group number 1. In Group 4, and 2 names that will definitely keep this race alive. One is Mickey Grice, who goes off number 89, and of course Oliane Bjorndalen, who will be the last to go, and no one will be celebrating a victory until he's either missed a load of targets or he's finished his race.
Well, I think that's true, without a doubt. Bjorndalen, to make the team, there was only one Norwegian cleanly selected prior to the trial races in early November, and that was Svensson. The rest, they had to earn their places against all of the best in Norway. Schipulin still showing us the way he leans that rifle way over, away from his body, but he has to do it the same every time.
And again, broke that position very quickly after the final shot. We're seeing some classic mistakes early on in the season, but also seeing some fine performances.
They've all been thinking, as Martin Fourcade said, of this moment, the first day on skis. They've trained those 225 days, as you said, with this moment in mind.
Now, Ustigov trying to match his first prone shoot.
I remember at the Olympics, Patrick, Ustigov, he was still doing okay. He shot 0-1-1. The last time in, he missed 3 in the stand. He's missed 2 today. Lupakov certainly wasn't happy about that one.
Well, that's frustrating after a really good start, and he will have enjoyed seeing himself at the top of the leaderboard. He's going to, well, he's there for now, but it won't be for long, because there are going to be a few who come through and beat his halfway time. But should he hit the remaining 10, 18 out of 20 might well be good enough to get him a top 10 finish.
I'm surprised only 3 athletes have gone through after 2 shoots, Patrick, and the scores: Ustigov, he's missed 2, Schemp has missed 2, Schlesinger has missed a total of 3. Svensson just landing on the mat now. Svensson's ski time, as maybe expected. He's 2 seconds up on his teammate Labe Lund and 3 seconds ahead of Foucault.
And a little side change for Svensson as well.
Plus, the wind does seem to have picked up from the left, although we see the snow now coming down slightly from the right.
Tension in that left eye. I know it's what he always does, but that half-shut position doesn't look very relaxed, does it?
I don't know how he does it. I really don't know. I have to completely shade off that the left eye.
Well, that's a good margin. 5.4 seconds for Emil Hegler Svensson, and he'll be particularly glad that he's gone through and gone ahead of Martin Foucault, but it's still very close, and this one will almost certainly come down to the last shoot. Andy Bernbacher, 9:44, he's some way behind Svensson. What was his split time through 2.5?
Split time, Bernbacher off the pace, 15.5 down. That is quite slow.
Well, a quick shoot makes up for a few of those seconds.
Mark Kirkner certainly impressed, and that was a quick shoot from Bernbacher. That is his strength. He's not changing his gearing, his on-the-range timing, and it certainly has worked. Pfeiffer just getting comfortable, taking the tension out of his left hand. Again, another athlete that doesn't have any blind on his left eye. Left eye remains open, just like Svensson.
Good start on the range from Pfeiffer. Tim Burke on his second shoot, he's done exactly the same as Ustigov and missed 2 of the 5, having gone clear on the first shoot. So disappointment for Tim Burke. Svensson on 9:54. Remember, that's the time after the first shoot, and Svensson now some 800 meters into his second lap. As we watch Pfeiffer going out, just cast your eye over the top 10. The programme here, incidentally, in Oestersund, we've got the men's individual today, as you will be aware. The women's individual tomorrow, starting at the same time, 17:30. If you're in the UK, we'll be on air a little bit before that, but the race will start at 4:30 if you're in the UK. A day off on Friday. There's a sled dog race for anyone who's interested, and then sprints and pursuits at the weekend. Bergman. Bergman some 8 seconds off the leaders. How many have gone clear after the second shoot, Mike? If anyone?
Nobody.
Nobody clear yet. Is Bergman going to be the first? If he does, he'll be comfortably inside, over a minute ahead of the next rival. Nice start. He said he was relaxed. He looked relaxed, and that has brought the crowd to their feet. What a difficult decision for him, Mike. During the World Championships, his wife giving birth, and he had to make the decision of when to leave Germany and head back to Sweden.
And in the end, it was the individual race, which he opted. Well, he had to go at that point. Imminent daughter on the way, and he missed this individual race, and he's looking so good today. I think, Patrick, in my many years around biathlon, I haven't seen an athlete turn around their shooting performances as much as Moravec, Andrei Moravec. Twice now he's had a problem with his ejectors, or he's not pulling the bolt far enough back, losing so many seconds by doing that.
A little bit of extra rest, though, hasn't done himself any harm. He rebuilt the position very well. Jonsson of Sweden, 4 out of 5 in the pro, and that's an expensive miss in the early stages for Jonsson.
Jonsson at the World Championships finished 87th, shooting 3-2.